Hi everybody, how's it going? We have a new moon coming up, 12th of December or 13th of December, depending on where you are in the world. For us in the UK, it's the 12th of December, and it's a new moon in Sagittarius. Of course, we're in Sagittarius season. So we are in the season of that mutable fire energy. There is movement forward, okay? So you've probably felt that since we came out of Scorpio season. And now we have this new moon. So the moon is going to be exactly conjunct the sun in Sagittarius. And this is going to really heighten the manifestations and intention settings that we're wanting to put forth on our journey, because Sagittarius is all about the journey, learning, discovery. It's the ninth house, okay? So recognizing what we've been going through on our journey up to this point, what we've had to release and purge, what we've had to accept, what we've had to kind of gain that wisdom about in order to set our intentions in terms of where we want our reality to take us as we progress further on our journey. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, that gas giant that embodies expansion, also embodies hope, luck, okay? And there is an aspect of fortune here. And I'll come on to that because of what's in the astrology, but luck predominantly, okay, in relation to that. It's our fortune, it's our luck in life to receive these divine blessings, okay? And we've had to realize through all of this transformation and the healing journey that we're still on, we're still evolving through, we're still ascending through, that we're worthy of these great things. And through conditioning or previous experiences in this lifetime and or past lifetimes, we are actually shedding layers of ourselves in order to move forward as the true us, the real us that we've always been. But there may have been layers of toxicity, layers of fear, layers of doubt just on top of us, you know, and we've just been kind of operating in that mode of, okay, this is just my existence. I'm never going to achieve what I really want in my life. And the energy has been testing us in relation to that, because we've had to look at our investments, where we're investing our time, our energy, our attention. Are we getting that reciprocal energy back? Are we receiving that Venus joy energy back? Is it making our heart happy? Is it making our heart sad? Where do we need to make changes? Where are we more empowered within our sovereignty? Where do we still need to change in relation to connections with others, and also in relation to our relationships with not only people, but places and things? So we could have outgrown a situation, and that's fine, okay, because we're evolving. But detachment from a situation, whatever it might be, that we have been attached to for so long as part of a kind of false comfort blanket, if you like, because it's familiar, has perhaps been uncomfortable, but necessary. So there have been tower moments happening all over the place. And we've had to accept that change is here. Change is here, whether we're aware of it or not. Change is here, whether we like it or not. And when I say that, I mean liking the discomfort that goes with change, of course. And change is here, whether we can fully accept it or not, because we're going to be asked to accept it. It's all part of our journey. So why not take the reins and actually be like the archer with Sagittarius on our journey, on our quest, and shoot that arrow, okay, in the direction of what we want, not what other people tell us that we want, not what other people tell us we should be doing, but what we inherently want. And we've had to listen to our intuition on this one. And it may be that because there's been a bit of a cloud of confusion, or there's been deceptive energy around us, whether it's through other people, situations, or our own negative self-talk, we've had this cloud of confusion and maybe a bit of illusion as well that's brought up doubts. We've had to go through the shadows of Lilith, and we've had to really understand what's driving these fears, what's driving these anxieties, what's making us feel like we can't strive towards what we want. And that's all contributed to what we've needed to release, of course. And that cloud of confusion could have been there. And now with Neptune, of course, direct, which was my most recent astrology report, if you caught up with it, there was a massive emphasis and a message from Spirit, by the way, that this is the rise of the feminine through the shadows, and that's empowering the masculine essence to heal their sovereignty. Okay, so that's the balance within us, because we have feminine and masculine within us, whether we are male or female or however we identify. Okay, this is about the energy, balancing the energy. And of course, it's playing out in our external situations, the feminines and masculines. Okay, so it's a very profound time of transformation, and all of this hard work, the blood, sweat and tears, if you like, has contributed to this profound transformation that we're seeing in our own lives, and as a result within the collective. So it's heavy energy. It has been heavy energy, but this Sagittarian energy, because it's mutable, okay, although it's fire energy, that's good because it drives us forward, but it's mutable, so we can flow with what we need to and how we need to in terms of shooting that arrow. Okay, so it's flowing to the right position, to the right place in terms of, and that's in our lives, okay, metaphorically speaking, as to where we can then draw back, shoot the arrow in the direction of what we are truly heading towards, our purpose. Okay, and this is part of the healing journey. This is part of all of this. So it is a quest. It is a Sagittarian quest, if you like. And I don't know if I've mentioned it, apologies if I have, but yes, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, massive expansive energy. So yes, it brings that expansion, but it can expand negative and positive. So this is where these intention settings and manifestations for this new moon need to be from a positive place and from a place of unconditional love. Because we want to expand the positive, we want to allow the blessings to come in, we want to allow the fortune that Jupiter can bring, the luck in that way, okay, the hope with all of that, and the ethereal essence that it carries with it as well on our spiritual quest. Okay, so yes, we'll look at what Jupiter's doing in the chart as well as the other transits. I'm going to pull up the chart. I will pull up the UK's chart to give some context on the house system, as I usually do. And then I will take some cards as well at the end for some additional messages. So if you are just here for that, I have timestamped the video so you can scroll straight to the reading. One of the decks that I was guided to use for the additional messages at the end was this one, and it's quite an old deck of mine, so I was specifically guided to this one, Sacred Destiny, and it's an oracle deck. Okay, so I feel that there is a message in there for somebody. Okay, could be a group of you, but certainly for somebody, because I was guided to it. And it's not only that, you know, so obviously there will be a message, and there's great enlightenment with this as well, but the very words sacred destiny, this is what this new moon relates to. Our sacred destiny. Sit with that for a minute. Okay, what do you feel your sacred destiny is? Do you know what it is? Well, what are you being pulled towards in terms of your purpose? Where is it that you're wanting to invest your energy because you're getting that joy back and it's giving you that life force energy? You're embodying your soul essence, your true divine soul essence. It's your divine truth, okay? Remember, Saturn also wants to get us in alignment with our spiritual truth. So we've been learning lessons about what hasn't been serving us, what we need to detach from, and clearing the karma out in that respect. So what is it, where is it, you know, that you want to invest further to receive that joy, to become more of yourself, your true self, in order to move forward on your journey? This is all about the sacred destiny, okay? And it's sacred because it's divine. It's divine, divinely guided, divinely bestowed upon us if we can accept it. So we need to be open to receive that and believe that we're worthy of receiving it as well. Okay, let's get into the astrology chart. Right, let's share. Okay. New moon in Sag, here we go. So as always, I've drawn over this chart to give you some indication of what I was guided to look at, because there's messages in here for somebody, a group of you, okay? And this is just showing you the new moon as an event, all right? So we're not going to focus too much on the house system here. It's going to look a bit differently when we take a look at it against the UK's chart in a bit. But here we have, certainly for the UK's time, and this is what I'll come on to more when I put the UK's chart with it, we have got a timing here, folks, of 23:32, mirrored. That is mirrored timing. So this is obviously the UK's time zone, or GMT, whoever's on GMT. This is not going to apply for everybody because you're on different time zones. But this in itself, to me, you know, because 23 reduces to a 5, 32 reduces to a 5. What's that? 5, 5. 5 is all about change. 55, having the two fives together, is major change, and it's a master number. So this is profound change that is possible from this new moon in Sagittarius. And I say profound change, and this can all be profound change for the good, because we've got that expansive energy of Sagittarius and Jupiter supporting us in our manifestations. Okay, so let's take this one seriously, folks. Okay, if we're wanting to manifest a new life for ourselves in alignment with our spiritual truth, this is the new moon to be doing it. Okay, and as you can tell, I'm quite passionate about this. And I should also let you know that I've realized that with some of my astrology readings, certainly recently, where these messages have been coming through quite clear, that there is channeled guidance coming through, because I can feel the change and I can feel the shift in my body, in my soul, whilst I'm doing that, okay? So these messages are going to hit you however they need to hit you. And if they trigger you, it's all for the highest good, okay? So please remember that. This is through the power of unconditional love, okay? And it's from the pure white light. So these are messages that you need to hear for your highest good, to get you shifted into gear in terms of moving forward towards your sacred destiny, yeah? With the full moon that we had a couple of weeks ago, that was a full moon in Gemini, which is, of course, the opposite sign to Sagittarius, because that's how it happens. We're in Sagittarius season, the full moon is in Gemini. Here we've got the new moon conjunct the sun, because it's a new moon, okay? So it's exactly the same degrees as the sun. They're on top of each other, okay, in that respect. But with the full moon in Gemini, there was some trickster energy around that. It was highlighting heavy shadows, deception, okay, within communication, Gemini, within thoughts, Gemini. And so the full moon could have illuminated that, and we've had to work with that energy to release it in order to get to this point of saying enough of that deception, enough of that self-sabotage. I want to go towards this in my life. I want to shoot my arrow towards this in my life. And I am worthy of receiving this as a divine sovereign soul. So this is where we're up to. We're getting to this empowered state of being. And it's a beautiful new moon. And this is why I'm saying this is the moment for you to manifest what you're wanting. I should point out that this is about manifestations for your life, but for your life, okay, and we can't manifest in terms of, you know, impacting somebody else's free will. Okay, that's an important message to put out there. But this also, you know, when I looked at the aspects and the transits here, there is also soulmate energy here. And soulmates can be romantic, they can be friends, family, you know, however it applies, pets even, okay, because we have soul bonds with people and animals, okay, in my view. You can believe that or not, but souls, okay? So we have soulmate connections on different levels, many different levels. But there's quite a bit going on here in the chart, which I'll come to, all right? But I just wanted to get that out there first of all. So here we have, you know, the moon, as I said, exactly conjunct the sun at 20 degrees of Sagittarius. So 2020, which also, if you're looking at it as numbers, 2 and 2. So think of the master number 22. That also relates to soulmates, but it also relates to balance within. And, you know, we are balancing out the feminine and masculine, as I've mentioned. but we've got 40 seconds or 40 minutes, sorry, above, and this is about 4 ascended masters. So it's powerful. This is powerful energy, okay? And we need to take this seriously for our lives, because this is our quest. Nobody else's, our quest, okay? So the moon is going to heighten the energy of the sun and vice versa, because they are exact conjunct, okay? They're on top of one another. In this fire sign, with this mutable energy, allowing us to flow, allowing our soul to flow, the sun, allowing our emotions and feelings to flow, the moon, where we need to, okay? To shoot that arrow in the direction of what we want. Okay, so fiery emotions to propel us forward, great for motivation. And enabling to do that, we've got the energy of Mars, also in Sagittarius, wanting to take the action forward, being nurtured by Ceres, divine feminine energy, but also expansive energy. So we've also got some expansive energy here with what Ceres is doing to support Mars. So that's feminine energy, once again, supporting the masculine energy, nurturing the drive forward of the masculine. Yeah, because of where we want to shoot that arrow. And I'm probably going to say that a lot in this video, okay? But hopefully you know what I mean by that. This is setting our intentions towards what we want, shooting our arrow towards what we want, like the Sagittarian archer on the quest of discovery, because we've discovered what we want. We've discovered what hasn't been working for us. We know what we've needed to release and what we still need to release. And if we're doing that alongside this, that's fine, because we're setting those intentions that this is what we need to do. We need to free up space to manifest this beautiful, new, expansive opportunity of fortune, luck, and love. So we need to make sure we've made space. We need to release what is not serving us. We need to detach from where we need to detach. We need to put boundaries in place where we might not have had boundaries before, okay? And we need to be open to receive these blessings as well and believe that we're worthy of them, okay? So another tangent there, apologies, but very insightful messages here coming through from Spirit, and very much this is coming through me, okay? This is being channeled through me in a very commanding way. So this is about really, really taking action and responsibility for your journey, okay? You've got the power, because we're all co-creators of our reality with the universe, but you've got the power to change things where you need to change things, to manifest the reality that you desire. Do you want to live an existence that someone else has mapped out for you, that someone else says you should be doing? Or do you want to actually take ownership of your sovereignty and be the leader of your life, okay? And open yourself up to this powerful, expansive energy of luck, love, and fortune. Let that sit with you. Now, with the sun and the moon, okay, because they're exact conjunct, you know, they're kind of classed as, you know, as one here. The emotions, the drive, the feelings, and the soul essence, very powerful, okay, in this Sagittarian energy, what we want, moving towards what we want, being driven towards that. There is a trine that is going to Chiron and the North Node in Aries, more fire energy. Aries is all about the self. So we are having to really focus on us. What do we want? And this beautiful trine shows that this new moon is assisting us in terms of that, because the North Node is our purpose, where we are striving towards, and it's in Aries here. So this is about our sovereignty. Okay, we're heading in the direction of becoming sovereign souls, leaders of our own lives. Of course, within your own chart, check where the North Node is. That's going to give you an indication of your specific purpose. This is collectively, okay? So it carries the energy for all of us. We are being guided towards sovereignty. And with Chiron in Aries, we've had to heal our sovereignty, because perhaps we've not felt empowered enough to step into our sovereignty, to put that metaphorical crown on our heads. to sit on that throne of leadership. Well, this is changing because the new moon is enabling us to manifest and set intentions towards what we want in terms of our sovereignty. Okay. And as a leader of our life, we are the ones in charge to say what we want to do and what we don't want to do, what we want to manifest, what we need to release. So the beautiful trine is showing that harmony with how it's helping guide us towards our purpose on this quest, and how that's helping us heal at the same time. Now, there is a square to Neptune. Okay, so I'll have to mention that there is a square to Neptune in Pisces. Neptune's just recently come direct, of course, in his home sign of Pisces, ethereal, magical, mystical, spiritual. Whilst he was in retrograde, as I mentioned in my previous astrology report, there could have been, deceptive energy that we were aware of because it's retrograde, it's an introspection. So perhaps we've realized where others have deceived us, where we might have deceived ourselves, through self-sabotage, because we've been telling ourselves we're not worthy of all of this. And when Neptune came direct, it was that realization of, right, we've got to emerge from the shadows here because we've done this shadow work, and we can now be empowered with that feminine energy, regardless of gender, with the feminine energy of wanting to create for our own lives. Okay. And also recognizing that we might have neglected our intuition. And now, because Neptune is moving forward, Saturn is still there in Pisces as well, reminding us to get in line with our spiritual truth. We're needing to become more and more reliant, if you like, on our intuition. So that means listening to our intuition, engaging with our intuition. And our intuition will never lie to us. So sometimes we don't want to listen to it because our intuition is going to tell us the truth. But this is all about engaging with our intuition, because we know via the intuition, which is soul source essence of the divine running through us, extremely powerful, that we can tap into that and we can understand what direction we need to, head towards, because it's our inner compass. Yeah. And I've mentioned about the 9th house, Sagittarius. It's a journey. So let's use our compass on this journey. And, the square is highlighting there may be some challenging energy because perhaps we have, because we've realized about, deceptive energy. And it could be that we've given ourselves so much confusion and so much kind of, from this overthinking, that we've deceived ourselves out of potentially beautiful opportunities in the past. And it's the realization of that. So it's like, okay, now I really want to manifest this for my life because I've realized that actually I've deceived myself out of it before, and I shouldn't have done that to myself. Remember, we're thinking about the self. There's aspects of self-love here as well, but that can be difficult to face, hence the square. Neptune is also opposite Juno and past Fortuna that I have circled here in blue, in Virgo, opposite sign to Pisces, of course. They are both, as you would have noticed, exactly conjunct as well. 1818. You might want to look up that angel number. 18 reduces to a 9, so you've got 9, 9. 9 is all about releasing. We're in Sagittarius season. It's a new moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules the 9th house. What have we got down here? 9 and 9, Venus and Pallas. So heavily connected with what we need to release, what we're trying to detach from in order to manifest the new, exactly like I was saying about making space for new. We want to be able to manifest, what we want. Remember the arrow, we're shooting it in the direction of what we want. And this is based on what gives us that reciprocal energy, what makes our heart happy, what gives us that Venus energy to continuously create from a place of soul's truth, that divine soul essence, our integrity as a divine spiritual being. but we've needed to make space. So there is a massive message here of still clearing out what we need to make space. Remember, this is a new moon in Sagittarius. And what did I say? Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, massive, expansive energy. How can we expand if there's no space? Yeah. So let's detach from what we need to. Let's release what we need to, even if it's as simple as a negative thought that is telling you you can't do this, that is telling you you can't have what you want. No, let's detach from that, please. So it could be something like that, or it could be a situation that you need to detach from. It could be a person you need to detach from. Whatever it might be, however it resonates, if it resonates at all, this is about making space to expand the energy for this new moon to bring in all those fantastic opportunities. Okay, so with what I said about Juno, divine feminine asteroid, represents love and marriage. Okay, and we've got here past Fortuna, so the pot of fortune. This is all about fortune and love. Okay, it's right there. Fortune in love. And the opposition to Neptune, okay, we don't want to cloud our judgment here, but there could be dreamy type situations going on, okay, because that's the ethereal kind of side of Neptune as well. But understanding that love is paramount, because also what we've got going on with Venus, and it feels to me that it's love of the self that's driving this, because we are understanding what we're worthy of and what we've maybe been settling for previously. And it's like, no, I've got more respect for myself now. So I'm going to show myself that self-love. And Venus in Scorpio, I've had to go to the depths of the soul to understand where I'm investing my energy, where I'm investing my time, who I'm investing it in order to understand what and who brings that energy back to me. Okay, so that I understand where I need to pivot in my life and so on. And Pallas, which is also divine feminine energy, you know, is there as well. 9-9, they're on top of each other. This is about, you know, that empowerment of the feminine energy that's rising through the shadows to help empower the masculine energy. Okay, so it's still very prominent in the chart. And there is an opposition between Venus and Pallas to Jupiter. Jupiter is retrograde until the end of this year in Taurus. So we've still got that introspection going on with Jupiter. Jupiter's important for this new moon because of the ruler of Sag. So the expansive energy, the luck and the fortune. Okay, but we're also needing to allow for that inner growth, that inner expansion within our worth and values, because Jupiter is in Taurus in retrograde. So yes, there might be that still that push-pull energy, because we're still trying to find out where we're investing our time, energy, and you know, resources, etc., and how that's contributing to our inner growth, because we're becoming then more wholesome of who we are and what we want to do and where we want to, you know, go in life, basically. And remember, you know, Chiron and the North Node, where we're heading towards our healing journey. So all of this inner growth and expansion through the lessons that we've had to learn and through what we've needed to release, you know, as part of this transformation has been heavy. But I bet you can actually say with pride as well that you've grown as a person as a result. And this is what it's all about. It's a journey, remember, it's a journey. There is also, with Jupiter, there is a square to Lilith. And Lilith has come up, you know, in my previous astrology reports. So, you know, Lilith can bring up the shadow aspects, shadow feminine type energy. And she's in Leo at the moment, in retrograde. So Leo is very much that soul expression, being seen, being recognized for who we are as a soul. So Lilith in Leo in retrograde could be kind of focusing the spotlight back on ourselves. Are you sure you want to be recognized in that situation? Are you sure? You know, I'm just going to bring up a few doubts, a few fears, a few deep rooted wounds, maybe some deep desires that are going on that could challenge that aspect, and how that's also contributing, you know, not only to what's going on inside that inner expansion, but also the change that's needed because of Uranus in Taurus there, okay, with the square here. So this is about, you know, our worth and values, understanding it from that Jupiter point of view of the inner growth and expansion, what we've had to kind of adjust with, and and how change has been facilitated in that way, because we're recognizing the wounds, we're recognizing the doubts, we're recognizing those desires we might have to be seen, to be recognized, and we're allowing ourselves to make the changes necessary in accordance with our worth and values. Okay, and then we've got beautiful trines going on from Lilith, because this also contributes to the healing journey. There's a trine to Chiron, so it's all part of the healing journey, and it's also fire energy, because that trine is also going from Lilith down to the sun and the moon. Okay, so it's very much linked to our soul essence, our feelings, our motivation to move forward, to be seen, to be recognized for who we are, overcoming the fears and doubts of what that might have shown us, with what Lilith might have shown us, and how that's contributed to our healing journey and the direction that we're going towards in relation to our purpose. Yeah? Fabulous. Okay. Final point before I bring up the UK's chart, Mercury. Mercury is in Capricorn. Okay, so in terms of communication, this could be that kind of harsh reality, the kind of reality check, truth talk that we've had to have with ourselves about all of this that I've just mentioned. Okay, and how that's also enabling this deep transformation, because Pluto is there in Capricorn as well. But I mentioned Mercury because Mercury will be going retrograde on the 13th of December. Okay, the new moon is the 12th or the 13th, depending on where you are in the world. For the UK, it's the 12th. Okay, for America, it's the 12th. For Australia, it's the 13th. So Mercury is actually going retrograde on the 13th. We're currently in pre-shadow phase. So Mercury retrogrades, as with all retrogrades, shouldn't be feared, because it's time for introspection. But this is where it could relate to our structures, okay, the rules that we've maybe imposed on ourselves or others might have done, okay, because it's that Capricornian energy, Saturn's home, remember. It could also bring up karmic stuff, but sort of thoughts and communication are at play here with Mercury, and the retrograde just enables that introspection through all of this, okay, but it can be quite harsh energy with the Capricorn side of it, but necessary almost to close out the year because of what we're being propelled towards for 2024. So this is why it's important, and I'll remind you again that this new moon is the new moon to really manifest the reality that you're wanting to expand into from a positive perspective, because of the luck, the fortune, and the love associated with it. Okay, it's that expansion of love because of the self-love that we're showing ourselves through this empowerment. It's also allowing us to receive the Venus energy to then create from a place of unconditional love and empower the masculine drive to take courage and take action moving forward towards our purpose as part of our healing journey. Okay. So it's important to be doing this for this new moon, because this is a very, very lucky new moon, if I use that term. Okay, there's a lot of luck and hope and fortune and love and expansion, positive expansion. The potential for that surrounds this new moon. Okay, and it's great to do that before Mercury goes retrograde. Okay, that's what I would say to that one. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to now pull up the UK's chart to give some context on the house system with what I've just mentioned. So you'll see I've drawn on there what I've drawn on the other chart, but it's always smaller on here because of the two charts together. So we've of course got the UK's natal chart as the inner wheel, and the outer wheel is the transits of the new moon in Sagittarius. It's a freeze frame of the cosmos at that time to show what might be going on here. So important to note here that the new moon is happening in the 5th house of love. So I've just mentioned about love, haven't I? So the 5th house of love. That's where the new moon is going to be taking place. Okay, and that square that's going up to Neptune, Neptune is of course in the 9th house, so is in the Sagittarius house if you like, but we know here it's Pisces because of how intricate and unique natal charts are. So this square, the challenging energy, is based on what we've been discovering about this deceptive energy, whether it's deception from others or whether it is from our own self-deception that's caused confusion in situations. Okay, that's why it's been challenging, but it's empowering us and propelling us to move forward based on where we want to shoot our arrow. And it's like, right, okay, imagine the archer, you know, going along and is ready to sort of like pull back the arrow to shoot it in the direction of what he wants, he or she wants, okay, what you want. And you've had to go through this kind of foggy part of the woods, if you like, and now you're through that. Okay, you've had to realize, whoa, okay, I've just been through that fog of confusion. I've had to realize a few things, and now, okay, I'm even more determined and motivated with that Sagittarian fire energy within the moon, motivations in the feelings, to go after what you want. Okay, so even though it's been challenging because it's a square, and believe me, you go through anything like that and you're realizing where you've deceived yourself, that's going to hit quite hard, isn't it? But we don't want to have regrets and we don't want to be hard on ourselves. And that's where with Mercury and Capricorn, you know, we might be being too harsh on ourselves. But no, this is about realizing, okay, I can see things more clearly now because Neptune is out of retrograde. I'm through the fog in the forest. And I can now see this is where I want to aim my arrow towards. Okay, it's just highlighting that challenging energy, but it's been a journey, 9th house, and could be heavily connected to love because we've got the sun and the moon in the 5th house. Now, the trine that's going, if I can just find where she is, there we go. Yeah, Lilith, right there. Yeah, so kind of right on the cusp here of the 2nd house. This is about worth and values. Okay, so again, you know, being seen, being recognized, fears and doubts coming up in terms of our worth, which is where the feminine has had to rise up through that shadow work. Yeah, because the trine is going across to the 5th house. So we've had to show ourselves that love to understand why those fears have been coming up, why we've been telling ourselves certain things, why we've been maybe telling ourselves or listening to others saying that you know you can't be recognized in that, you can't be seen for who you truly are. Well, I say BS to that. So basically, this is about acknowledging where your worth and values have expanded because of showing yourself that love, that self-love, and how that's empowered the healing journey in the 10th house of inner authority and social status and work. So it could even be applicable to work situations, okay, with what's been going on, owning your worth and understanding your worth in those situations, okay, as a sovereign leader, being empowered in that way. Okay, Jupiter is also there. So expansive energy, but remember this is inner growth because Jupiter's in retrograde. So inner growth within our inner authority. Perfect. Because we're wanting to expand our inner authority, aren't we? We're wanting to expand our sovereignty. That's what the North Node is saying, and Chiron. So perfect. But with that opposition there to Venus and Pallas in the 4th house, within our foundations, we've had to be clear on a deep level about where we're investing our time, energy, resources, money, and our love at the very foundation, okay, in terms of what we've needed to release and so on, okay. And also, you know, this with Juno and the pot of fortune. Now, bearing in mind we've got AS there, which represents ascendant. Okay, so in a natal chart, you're going to see what the ascendant is, the rising sign, and of course, because the event of the new moon is there as a chart in itself, it's created an ascendant for it. But I just found that fascinating that it was 18, 18, 18, 9, 9, 9. And then we've got another 9, 9 there. So again, release. Let's release what we need to within our foundations that's not serving us and within our 3rd house of expressions. So where have we been telling ourselves things that don't really match up with the reality? Because that's what's going to bring us that fortune, okay? That's what's going to bring us that luck when we can acknowledge our true expression of self, of who we are, and showing ourselves the love, Juno, and maybe other people have been trying to show us the love, to show us this. That's what's leading to the fortune, to the luck, to the expansion, okay, within this new moon. With Uranus, so Uranus is there in the 11th house, and that is where the trine is to, that's where the square is to Lilith. So, you know, connections with others, okay, change within connections with others. And that could have been challenging because it might have been in a connection with someone else or a group of people that Lilith has come out, the shadow feminine, to challenge where you're being seen and recognized. Simple as that. Okay, if that's hitting for you, that's hitting for you. But look at that kind of almost symmetrical drawing I've done without even realizing it. So this corresponds, and it's a great reminder, thank you, Spirit, to me of the mirrored time, because I mentioned for the UK, this new moon is happening at 23:32. That's mirrored energy. Our external reality is reflected back to us based on our internal condition. So the inner growth and expansion that Jupiter is providing is paramount, because we want to expand in a positive way. We want to grow our sovereignty. We want to become more empowered as leaders, because then our reality is going to reflect that back to us, okay, within our worth and values, within those we interact with, okay, the respect, the love, okay, the recognition of our sovereignty reflected back to us. Okay, so this massive, expansive potential here. And because the new moon and the sun is there in the 5th house, this stems from a place of love. So we need to have that love within ourselves to do the right thing by ourselves. Okay, we want to do right by ourselves, don't we? We want the best for our lives, don't we? So let's show ourselves that love. Let's embody the Venus energy within our foundations. And let's understand that there may be others around us that can help support us through these times of late, and to be open to receive that as part of these divine blessings if it kind of fits in with the narrative of our spiritual truth. Okay, because we want to be on the same page as people. We want to be aligned with people. Soul tribe. This is very cathartic. It's healing. Remember, the feminine is rising up through these shadows to become more empowered, to create, to manifest, to birth something new. And that is leading the way for the masculine in terms of the sovereignty, in terms of the journey of the sovereignty. So once we come from that place of the feminine, we've nurtured ourselves, okay, we want to create this for our lives, trusting in our intuition, open to receive these beautiful opportunities. Right, let's engage the masculine energy and have the drive and the courage to shoot that arrow in the direction of what we want. Powerful, positive, expansive opportunities all over this, okay? Amazing. So I'm going to stop sharing now. And obviously I'm going to take some cards now, okay? But just to draw your attention, because I've got my lovely Goddess Spirit deck here, and I noticed as I was getting all the decks ready that on the bottom is Fortuna. So I've mentioned past Fortuna, I've mentioned fortune in terms of luck. I'm also drawn to the Wheel of Fortune, so I'm going to find that in the tarot deck very shortly. But Fortuna, it says here, change, fortune, outlook. Remember I said at the beginning, change is coming. So we need to embody this and allow ourselves to be in the driving seat of this change, to manifest this full moon, new moon. Blooper. Yeah, let's manifest under this new moon, okay, based on what we've released in the full moon, or what might have been illuminated to us in the full moon that we need to release, okay. Can you tell it's pre-shadow Mercury retrograde? And let's drive ourselves forward, because this is the new moon to do it. This is the new moon to do it, okay? And it's 23:32 for us in the UK, 5-5 change, you know? And also, this is card 18. We saw all those 18s on the astrology chart as well. It's reminding us of the same thing. It's synchronicity. And notice she's got a blindfold on. So this is kind of that inner knowing of where change is needed, where change is coming, what's flowing with that mutable fire energy. You know, it's having, in tarot, it's, you know, the fire signs are represented by wands. The drive, the passion, the desire, the courage, the creativity, the spark, the flame to do what we want to do, to go after what we want. It's very, very powerful. So I just wanted to draw your attention. And I'm going to find that Wheel of Fortune in the Lightseers Tarot deck. So bear with me. As I always say, it's probably the last one. No, there we go. Okay. It's also number 10 of the major arcana. So there's heavy energy around it, very spiritual. You know, the major arcana are very key messages. And in this deck, and this is why, you know, I love working with different decks, because as an intuitive reader, they certainly deliver different insights and messages. Okay, so it's the Lightseers Tarot here, beautiful deck. And it's card number 10. 10s are all about cycles, cycles closing out. This is all about allowing the wheel to turn. Now, there is Jupiter energy here. And I always see, and I have always seen when I look at this card, the Jupiter glyph. Okay, so it's a reminder, when this comes out for me in readings, it's a reminder of expansion. Fixed energy is also on this card, attributed to this card, okay, the fixed signs. But it's the power of Jupiter that I hold on to. Now here, you see, she's poised on not just one wheel, but a stack of wheels. So the possibility of her actually falling, you know, it's not very stable, is it? You know, the possibilities of her falling are quite high. However, does she look bothered by that? She's actually poised, comfortable. There's some dice on her top, on her dress. There's an element of risk here. There's also balance between the feminine and the masculine. So she's balanced, poised, and ready for the wheel to turn. But because she's on the top, she's actually turning the wheel herself. So this new moon in Sagittarius with the luck, okay, think of the Wheel of Fortune. It's a cycle. So cycles need to close out to make space for the new. And you've got the power to turn the wheel in the direction of your desire. The expansive opportunities, but there might be an element of risk, okay, because it could be a step out of a comfort zone, but ultimately it's going to allow for balance and luck, the Wheel of Fortune. It's also known in some decks as the Wheel of Karmic Destiny. And remember, we saw here Sacred Destiny. So that which is meant to be yours will always be yours. But we are also in the driving seat to empower ourselves to manifest what we want in our lives. You know, we are the co-creators with the universe at the end of the day, but we need to meet the universe halfway. Okay. So just wanted to show you that. So let's just get some additional messages for you. I'll start with my Star Codes Astro deck. Additional messages for this new moon. Sagittarius for the collective. That's interesting, because we've got heavy Saturn energy here. We've got Saturn himself, and we've got Capricorn ruled by Saturn. So there is this feeling, I mean, that Saturn is very powerful. Saturn doesn't mess around, okay? Capricorn is all about achieving, because it's the Saturn energy of let's get things done, regimented approach, almost devoid of emotions. Let's get things done. So there needs to be some focus here in terms of what you wanted to manifest. You also need to flow because of the mutable fire energy of Sagittarius. But ultimately, you know, if you can hold on to what Saturn is trying to teach you in terms of the alignment with your spiritual truth and what you want to achieve for your life, that's what's going to drive you forward in terms of your manifestations. Okay. Let's go with the Queen of the Moon. There's a card I keep looking at, and I will show you. Wow, love it. Love it, love it, love it. I don't think many words are necessary. But what I will say is, this is card number 2. The new moon and the sun, 2020, 2, 2, 2 beginnings. New moon is all about a new beginning, a new lunar phase, a new start, setting the intentions, manifesting new reality, beginnings. And it's having the discernment to understand what it is that you do desire. Now look at this. This is so interesting, this synchronicity here, because that's like that cloud of confusion, that fog that perhaps the Neptune retrograde caused. So it's coming out of that now. It's using your discernment via your intuition, that inner compass, to guide you forward in terms of what needs to close out, because that's card number 10 for the Wheel of Fortune. And on the bottom, we have got faith, and there's Empress vibes all over this. So it's having faith in what you want to manifest and then surrendering. And that is where the path is shown. And that enables growth and restores balance, which is beautiful, because that's what we want. You know, we want that balance and reciprocity with people give and take. Moonology, moonology manifestations, because it is a new moon. Thank you. That one wanted to be seen and heard. It ties in with what the Astro deck said, actually. And at the time, I was thinking to myself, you know, the moon is extremely powerful, and it is. So remember, we saw Capricorn and Saturn, that heavy Saturn energy. Well, the one that wanted to be seen and heard was this. Take a reality check. That is full moon in Capricorn energy. Okay, so I know we're coming up to a new moon, but this is about the Capricorn energy, about the reality check. And that feels to me it's about Mercury in Capricorn, because I said that, reality check. It's a truth talk with ourselves. What do we want to manifest for our lives? Let's get real about what it is. Reveal what needs to be seen. And that could simply be yourself. Okay, because remember about the recognition. The card that keeps looking at me is this one, by the way. Okay, loyal heart. Let's be loyal to ourselves so we can have that reflected back to us, just like these owls are looking at each other. Soulmate energy all over that as well. Okay, let's see with the oracle what else you have for the new moon, and then we'll get into some tarot. And I'll round it off with a sacred destiny card, because remember I said I was drawn to using that one. So okay, let's see. A leg up. Right, okay, so there's a couple of messages coming straight through to me here. There we go, there we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, on the bottom, that kind of energy of why am I having to go through all of this? Why is all of this coming up? Because it needs to be seen, to be released. But we have a leg up and we have community. So this is soul tribe, okay? And card 34, 3 and 4 is 7, divinely guided. So divinely guided soul tribe to give you that leg up. Okay, it's a simple message, but those around you, you know, if you're aware of those in your soul tribe that can give you that leg up, metaphorically speaking, that's offering that divine support through all these changes, through what you're trying to build and rebuild, okay? And this community card, there's a giraffe, so also looking at things from a higher perspective, okay? And that could also tie in with this one, reveal what needs to be seen. Well, it might be that things have been revealed to you to see who is part of your community in that way. Okay, let's get a God spirit because I forgot about. We've already seen Fortuna. Okay, we have got Morrigan, card 42. On the bottom, we've got, I don't want to say the name because it's going to sound like something else. Okay. But it's rebirth and it's dark and light. So it's embodying, you know, that masculine, feminine, but also the light and shadow. Okay. In the hidden energy. So the subconscious work that's been going on, the shadow work that I've been mentioning could be attributed to that. But this is about giving yourself the permission to rest. Okay. And I feel that from this, because it's got release on it. So this is very much about releasing what you've understood that you need to detach from and what needs to be released. And it's giving yourself the permission to rest, you know, not rest on your laurels, but to kind of give yourself that freedom to rest into yourself, to understand that wasn't serving me. And that's okay, you know, because I've gained wisdom from it. It was a great experience, whatever it might be, but it caused that fog of confusion, or, you know, whatever it might be. So I need to release it. And it's giving yourself the permission to rest into your true self, to understand what it is that you actually want to manifest for your life going forward. Okay. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. That energy carries beautiful energy because, you know, it's releasing, it's enabling the transformation. It's enabling yourself to rest into the transformation that's needed for you to embody who you are and who you've always been, but maybe you've been too afraid to show who you really are. Okay. Very powerful. Right. Let's just get some tarot for some additional messages. With the unfolding path, seeing as we're on a spiritual journey with Sagittarius, I have a message to the deck that I'm going to use there. We are on a journey. It's absolutely correct. And this is also a really beautiful deck. Okay. Let's see what we have for the unfolding paths for the new moon in Sag, please, for the collective. Notice how that one flipped out. That one didn't fall. No, the energy's going chaotic. Right, ground it. Okay. Interesting in the hidden energy, which I'll come on to. But we have here, and I think it's gone a bit, the light's going a bit actually here, getting to that time of the day. Right, okay, so we've got the Six of Pentacles. Okay, we've got the Six of Pentacles. So fairness, balance, reciprocity, okay, is what we want. Now, Nine of Wands in reverse, that's kind of like letting our guards down a bit to allow for that reciprocity, okay? In the middle here, we've got the Emperor. So that's Major Arcana energy, that's Aries energy, that's leadership energy, okay? Emperor embodies all of the kings. So there is great sovereignty and wisdom within the Emperor, and the Emperor is a go-getter, goes after what he wants, okay? So regardless of gender here, the Emperor goes after what he wants. So this is about letting our guards down to receive that reciprocity by going after what we want. And the one that flipped out that wanted to be seen was the moon, okay? This is Pisces energy. So it could be that something's been hidden that you've become aware of. This could be just saying you need to go into that subconscious intuitive state to understand, you know, what your manifestations are going to be. But also this is about, yeah, embodying and embracing any fears that might have come up, but still taking the action anyway, okay? Because it's a step out of the comfort zone. Four of Pentacles kind of reminds us that often we feel like we need to hold on to things because we've got that fear of taking a leap. and it's what I said at the beginning of the video. You know, we hold on to kind of a false comfort blanket because we think it's giving us stability. Okay, and that can often cause other, you know, issues potentially. So it's embodying that energy of the moon, and certainly, you know, with this new moon, it's key for that to go after what we want with that Emperor energy. On the bottom, we've got the 3 of Pentacles, which is about building a foundation but collaborating with others. So again, soul tribe. Okay, 6 of Swords, in order to sail to calmer shores and away from deceptive energy, whether that's others or yourself, because that is what is going to lead to a new, powerful beginning, passionate beginning, creative beginning, new opportunity, and could also potentially lead to union with somebody. Okay, so that is extremely powerful as well. I love it. I love it. Let's come on to the nugget of the reading, Sacred Destiny, because I was drawn and guided to this deck for a reason. So let's see what we have. Taking risks and release. I'm telling you, it's the new moon. Powerful, positive, expansive opportunities, but there needs to be belief and surrender. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. I love it. Voyage. Well, what's another word for that? Journey. And what have I been saying about Sagittarius? This is a journey. And notice that this whale is carrying the baby whale. Okay, so this is actually enabling others, like the soul tribe, like we've seen, even if it's your higher self. Okay, this is where I'm going to go deep with you now. Even if it's your higher self carrying you forward on this journey, okay, you know inherently within what you need to do, you know what you need to release, you know what you need to detach from, and you know ultimately what you want to go in the direction of. But are fears clouding your judgment? Diligence, yeah, that's kind of putting the effort in to what you want, because that's going to lead to happiness. Yeah, adventures and truth. Yeah, amazing. Right, I think I'll wrap that up there before the light disappears from here. So I'm sending you all the best for this new moon in Sagittarius. You know, if you're interested in a personalized moon scope, okay, then check out the description box below, because this new moon, powerful. So if you want to understand for your unique chart, and I stand by this, it's our soul's blueprint. Okay, I help unlock the key to your soul's blueprint through these astrology readings. Okay, so a moon scope is particularly for the new moon or the full moon. So for this new moon, exactly like I've shown you with the UK's chart, we can look at your chart against the new moon and understand where all of those aspects are playing out, which could help you in terms of your intention settings and manifestations. So if you're interested, if that's resonating for you, check out the link in the description box below. I wish you all the best. Let's allow the wheel of fortune to turn in your favor. But there needs to be intention that is divinely aligned with your truth, and that kind of leadership aspect of your sovereignty to carry you forward. And also, with your intent, the need to have faith and to surrender, okay? Not to manifest and the day after ask, where is my manifestation? This is about divine timing. It's about manifesting on this new moon and allowing it to unfold in the way and the time that spirit, the divine, that source wants to deliver it. It's powerful. Remember, we're going to be going into a Mercury retrograde not long after, which is going to slow the energy down, okay? So don't get disheartened by that. But this is the new moon for your intention settings. Sending you all the best. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now.